What's up, guys? It's your boy Scion. I am back, and today we're going to take a look at Path of Exile. This is going to be a should I play. As usual with most should I plays, this is not a review. This is basically 15 points that I've actually made in a format that I've done with other games, where I basically give you the gist of the game and let you know should you come in, how much it's going to cost, and time sink type of feel to it. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to get in here and we're going to talk about it. So number one is the pricing plan. This is a truly free-to-play game. It might be one of the best on the market, if not the best. In this game, they have pretty much things up in the store, which I've showed in the past video in the you're doing it right video. And this particular video, I showed you guys the store and how the store runs. The store is pretty much as free to play and balanced as you can possibly get. They do not give you any types of weapon to power. They don't influence anything too much, and they already clearly said that numerous times, even this year, that they do not want to put anything in the store that will screw up the integrity of the game and make the game suck in any way when it comes to money. So that's pricing plan. Things are very cheap, customizable when it comes to how the characters look. Definitely look into supporting them because they do a very good job and they have not sold out even one time. Number two is the character creation. The character creation in this game is a little bit meh, if not there really is any character customization. You have classes, and the classes can change according to the gear and whatever you get in the store. As far as being customizable gear, like, you know, if something that's going to have some flames on it, lightning on it, or be golden or silver, something like that, like you can have stuff like that, but you can't truly alter the characters much. So that's a little bit of a downer in my opinion. I wish you could make your own character. I would love to make my own character and base it off an archetype or something like that. I think that's the only thing that this game is missing right now, is the ability to make your own character. I hope they do that eventually, but we'll see. The cash shop, as I explained in number one, this is number three, the cash shop is badass in this game. The cash shop is pretty good. You can never screw yourself over with the cash shop as you can in certain games. You will never find anything that will make the game feel pay to win. There's no such thing as pay to win in this game, and that's awesome to be able to say that about any game. Auction house and selling, you can completely trade with other characters and then, you know, put worth on items and stuff like that, but technically there's really no dedicated auction house. So some say that's good, some say that's bad. You can also use the website itself on the forums to trade items, which I kind of like. I'd be like, I'd go earn it myself, because I feel that's one of my pet peeves that has nothing to do with this game, that if you have to use a website to play the game, then the game's not doing it right. So it is what it is when it comes to that. Graphics in the world, I think the graphics are pretty cool in this game. I don't really think that it's like standard or cutting edge, but it's very detailed. It's going to be this Diablo style, like this, no matter what. It's like people consider the Diablo clone, even though I don't. I think it's its own game. It's just using that format. I guess this is what we consider an action RPG type of format. I don't think that Diablo owns that, but it's the one that made it most famous. But here we go. And the graphics, in my opinion, are pretty good. You don't get much slowdown from it. You usually don't get much slowdown in this game or games like this, so it is what it is when it comes to that, but I think it's pretty cool. Combat and spells. The combat and spells in this game is where it's at. Like, just the class system and everything else. You can do a lot of things. Pretty much almost anything is possible, and the combat looks pretty cool. You can make some pretty cool builds, and overall, like, you can make sophisticated builds. So you can make an easy spam build that pretty much lives forever if you can figure it out, and that's the fun behind it. When you actually use combat against certain enemies, they would like actually force you to move. This game's a good job of actually being a little bit of platformer on top of being an action RPG, so you definitely did something to that. And you just gotta love it overall when you have a satisfying build facing a boss that you couldn't beat before, because there's going to be a lot of that in this game. Storyline, plot, and quest, which is number 7. Storyline in this game is like you're basically washed up on the shore. You're exile, and you have to figure out where you are in this world and what are you doing. You're just thrust into being a hero, even though you don't really know why you're a hero. And it's a little generic, but as the game has progressed, they've released more patches and expansions. The story has gotten better to the point where it's far more interesting than when it first started out. So I guess it's a thing of a story can get better over time, even though it wasn't all that great in the beginning. So I give it to that. The quests are pretty simple too. They like, hey, you know, over here, this is corrupted over here. Go check it out. and there's stuff like that. But like I said, as the game has gone along, they've added things like the rifts and like these different bosses that have lore and reasons why they're being badass, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, and you just have to take them on, and other tier type events. So it has increasingly grown throughout time, and I give them a lot of credit for that. 8, the classes. This is what game shines, because technically it does not matter what class you use. It's just whatever class you use is dependent on what they are. So like, you know, like the witch has intelligence, a rogue or archer has dexterity, and the marauder has strength. Meanwhile, you have classes that are in between, like the shadow, the scion, the templar, and I am forgetting one. Did I say the scion? Well, you guys get the gist of it. They're pretty much in between. It does not matter where you actually go on the classes. At the end of the day, you can typically be any build you want, any class. It just changes how you go about doing that, and sometimes you get things sooner than others. Like a strength is going to get a lot of strength gems, dex class is going to get dex gems first, and the intelligence class is going to get intelligence classes. But they can easily go into a strength build if they really wanted to. It's a little bit harder on you in the beginning, and you have to really go into using your skill planner so you don't end up wasting skills. There is ways to reset it during the game, but it's in your best interest to kind of like see the skill planner ahead of time. This is a very smart game, so you have to use it smartly. Like, you have to build smartly, and it's to your advantage to do stuff like that. So definitely look into that. Trade skills, there's not really a trade skill system. I want to say there's different things that you can put together and items that you can build up. As far as gym building and actually like putting items together as far as with the currency and stuff like that, but I technically don't really think this game has trade skills, and I could be wrong with my thinking on that, but if there is trade skills, in my opinion, it's not typical trade skills. So definitely you guys want to look into that, and it might be up your alley, because people usually don't like trade skills all that much in games anyway. They just want to get in and have something simple, put some stuff together, and just play. That's usually what they want to do. Dungeons. Now, Dungeons was number 10, but I skipped it. But Dungeons could be number 11 right now. Dungeons in this game is where it's at, because this is an instance game. He got wrecked. This is an instance game, and everything is pretty much a dungeon in this game. So, but as far as good dungeons, there's a lot of random generated dungeons, which makes things different, so you don't have to necessarily always see the same thing. Of course, in the storyline of scenarios is going to have the same type of dungeons, but there's stuff that just doesn't exist the same types. Like you saw the Atlas of Worlds, that stuff isn't the same. It basically builds and procedurally generates stuff around you, which makes your playthrough all the more different. As far as so you never look at the same things. You might see some of the same monsters maybe, but you won't see some of the same things, and then you might get different traps, which makes it fun. So again, he got wrecked. So it makes it fun, so you can actually go through things and, you know, have a little bit of fun with the game. I gotta say overall that this is one of those games that's like a hidden gem, because not everybody pays that much attention to it. Not everybody is really willing to go in and try to figure things out. There is a little bit of PvP, but remember, this game isn't really that much a PvP game. It's all about that PvE. It's all about that loot. So PvP people might not necessarily get their gist in all this. They probably won't even pay much attention to it. So, which is a little bit sad, because I think that this is one of the more solid games out there, especially for the action RPG genre. Some people are going to rage on that right now. This was because you saw my top action RPGs, I put this tied with Diablo 3, and people was like, what the hell, seriously? I was like it's an opinion, and like I'm like, people are mad at an opinion. I have an opinion, you have an opinion, but I do think that this was number one last year, and this year I think it's tied, because Diablo has righted the ship and got closer to being the proper, like just being proper overall. So guilds again, this is another game where guilds just really don't matter, in my opinion. There's really no reason for them, but they exist. You can be with people and chill and stuff like that, and have like your own type of group, and just have a little bit of fun with the game. But they really don't need to necessarily be in the game, and they typically don't do all that much other than you getting people together and just having fun. Raids and endgame, like, I want to say that it exists, and it does exist, The thing is, when it comes to this, and as you can see with Hideout board, that's not one of my points, but there is a home instance for you to actually, you know, customize and be how you want with things like that. So I kind of typically like say answer this because of the way of the games look, but there's still that customized there. But raids and endgame, the thing in this game is it's badass to be a solo killer. Like, you could do things with people, but it's better overall to actually just play by yourself and just be alone in the dark, 1 against 1 million, and win. And that's where people like to do a majority of their fun and just play games, as you see like right there, like just be just in impossible odds and have some nice things looking like that. Like, you just want to have impossible odds and just have fun overall with the game. So yeah, there's that. There's raids and end game, and also that it's like the game progressively gets harder, and you have the hard modes, which are pretty much like if you die, yeah, we're gonna take all your stuff. Your stuff's gonna go back into the soft, like if the soft mode type of feel, but you gonna have to start back over again. The hard mode, bruh. Don't die. I heard you like dying, but don't die. Yeah, that's the way it works. 15 in the last one, which is the conclusion. Should you play this game? I will say effing yes. This is one of the better games out there for free to play. You can get into the game. It has a lot of content in it. It has replayability because the simple fact of that the stuff is not going to be the same type of round. So if you make certain builds, you can go about it. There is ascended type of classes, as you just seen, which will allow you to change up builds. So you can necessarily have 4 different berserkers, or 5 if you really want to do that. I wouldn't, but you can have different berserkers and basically have them be all different types of builds. If you just like that particular, if you just like being a berserker or some big black guy and you want him to be casting spells, doing totems, hey, you can do that. That can happen. I personally would not do that, but I want to look at something different. But you can do that, and that's fine, because it's all about what you want to do. I give this game a 2.7, again, one of the highest on there. I think that the one thing that it is lacking is character customization. It needs more character customization because I just want to change how I look. Even though it's small and you can't really even see the characters hardly, I still want to change how I look. That's the only thing I think that this game lacks. That's it. Period. Everything else the game has, and it really can't get much more perfect other than when they add new things in and just add stuff and make it more perfect, in my opinion. I know that's really something to say about the game, but it's what it is. So at the end of the day, yes, you should play this game. Emphatically, it might be the best one out there. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace.